Homes in the Lake Geneva area are selling faster and closer to asking price, even though less homes are actually being sold. Now that sounds contradictory, but it's not. Buyers are doing something that most people won't catch. Now buyers overall, they're less active, but the ones that are, they're stronger. They're more decisive, they're more selective, and they're more intentional. We have selective demand in a seller's market, and that behavior is changing everything. Months of inventory tells us what kind of a market we're in, and it jumped. In Walworth County, we moved from 2.59 to 3.09 months. In Lake Geneva, it moved from 2.9 to 3.58. We're still in a seller's market, but it's a meaningful shift. Not a shift in control, but a shift in behavior, because it's the first signal that the market is starting to rebalance. It's not a tightening market, it's a loosening one. Days on market dropped from 70 to 38. Homes are selling faster, but here's the nuance. It's not a broad market like we saw in COVID, where people were buying anything with four walls. It's targeted. When the right home hits the market, it moves. If it's not, it sits. Inventory is starting to rise. In Walworth County, listings moved from 215 to 257. In Lake Geneva, from 29 to 34. It's the early stages of the spring market, so it's a small increase, I know, but that creates a window for buyers and sellers who are stepping into the market before competition peaks. By the time everyone else jumps in, you're under contract. On average, homes in Walworth County are selling within 96.9% of their full value. In Lake Geneva, it's 97.9%. That means it's 2 to 3% off the full value. That's a tight sales to list price ratio. Homes that are presented properly and priced correctly, they are getting close to or at full value offers. Homes that are not are sitting. This is not about having a lot of buyers. It's about earning the right ones. And in Lake Geneva, they're even more confident in what they're buying. Home prices are continuing to rise. In Walworth County, the median price of homes moved from $428,000 to $437,000. That's a solid increase. Interestingly, the national median price of homes is $419,000. So Walworth County is tracking very close to the national average. But Lake Geneva, completely different story. The median list and pending price in Lake Geneva is around $630,000. The reason being is we're operating in two very different markets simultaneously. The national influence market is what we're seeing with the Walworth County area, but we also have the premium second home and lakefront market, and that market behaves very differently. Luxury home and second home buyers play a very different game. They're not rate sensitive, they're asset sensitive. They care about the resale value, the structural integrity, the long-term positioning, the turnkey conditions. Here's why that matters. Luxury buyers are still very active, but they're extremely analytical, and they're looking to discount the homes by how much they think it's going to take to bring it to their standards, even if it's in good working condition. And that kind of scrutiny is something that sellers need to be prepared for. Quick story. So I have these two buyers. They're looking for a home anywhere from about $600,000 up to $1 million. They saw these two homes. They both had about 3,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. So same size, same features, located literally 5 minutes apart. One was $500,000, the other was $650,000, but in very different neighborhoods. The less expensive home was surrounded by $350,000 to $400,000 homes. The higher priced home was surrounded by $600,000 and above homes. Here's what happened. The less expensive home looked like a deal and a better value, but long term it had limited upside potential, and they estimated it needed about $80,000 to about $100,000 worth of work. The higher price home had better positioning and appreciation potential. So in the end, the higher priced home was actually the better deal. That's how buyers are thinking about homes these days. Interest rates are creating a lot of headwind. Again, mortgage rates are at about 6.57, which isn't dramatic, but how we got there, we had the tariffs, we had the Fed uncertainty, we had global conflict. All of that creates volatility, which pushes inflation expectations even higher, which pushes mortgage rates and uncertainty also higher, and that weakens buyer urgency, meaning buyers are willing to walk away from the right home at the wrong price. Here's what most people aren't connecting. Earlier this year, all the indicators showed that we were supposed to have a really good year, and we may still, but global conflict pushed up oil prices. Oil is pushing up inflation. Inflation pushes up bond yields, and bond yields pushes up mortgage rates. That's the chain reaction. And here's why that matters. Housing is now reacting to global events in real time, and that's a very different environment than most buyers are used to operating in. Consumer confidence is the real pressure point. Half the consumers think we're in a recession, even though we're not. Here's why that matters. Perception drives behavior. Buyers feel squeezed, so they slow down, not because they can't buy a home, because they're not sure if they want to right now. Case in point, mortgage applications, which is a leading indicator of demand, dropped 10.4%. Refinances dropped 17%. Higher rates and uncertainty equals hesitation. Not exit, hesitation. Buyers are still there, they're just even more cautious. The Lake Geneva market is shifting. Again, it's being shaped by inventory, buyer quality, and global conflicts, so strategy matters more than timing. Understanding the market gives you leverage. Guessing takes it away. This market is rewarding the people that understand it and quietly punishing those who don't. If you want to know where you stand, reach out. Make your next move legendary.